Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Alphamas Media. This is the mid-morning show. My name is Nema Nembris, and today we are having wonderful guests with us. Would you introduce me kidogo? Na tuchangamshe show.
Okay, my name is Kelvin Mude. I'm an agribusiness specialist based in Nairobi.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Titus Nakel. I'm an agronomist and I come from Kajiado County.
Okay, thank you for our guests for joining us. This is gonna be a good session with you guys because we are having a wonderful topic with us about export market versus local market. What do you know about export market? What do you know about local market? What market are you on? Do you do export marketing or are you doing local marketing? Join us to discuss that. And how is it affecting you wherever you are as a farmer or as the person who is transporting them, as the person who is in the market? How is the market affecting you? Export market versus local market. That's our topic of today. Let us discuss, share with us on the comment section, and we will be glad to answer you. We will be glad to join with you on this discussion. So thank you so much for joining us, and those who are yet to join us, kindly join us on our social media handles on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Alpha Mass Media. Karibuni sana, karibuni, even you guests, karibuni. So
Thank
today, I was thinking of something which I really miss. But I mean, I miss this thing.
What do you mean?
Na miss mvua. Mvua imekataa. Like, I miss those times that nilikuwa natoka kwa nyumba, just going to the market, narudi, I have to wash my shoes. I cannot enter with my shoes in the house
Because
and
of the
niweke kwa
mud.
shoe rack or something. I have to leave them out. I miss that time. That nikikaa hivi kwa dirisha, I'm seeing some water, stagnant water somewhere. I miss those times of wearing gumboots, of having umbrella in my bag. I have to walk with it.
Being ready for anything.
Hey, umbrella hata iko karibu kurasa. I don't know if you guys, this thing is affecting you.
Yeah, I get your point because this whole climate change issue is becoming
It's becoming a problem.
becoming too much.
Aki.
Because personally, I miss seeing grass, like green
Seeing
grass,
the green
not
grass around.
irrigated grass, just grass growing.
Yeah,
around.
grass growing around.
Yeah, because I remember
We miss
like
the green part of it
Yeah,
when
like-
it comes to nature.
5 years ago, we used to like cut our grass on a weekly basis.
Aki.
I can't even remember the last time we did that. So clearly
Get
shows you there's something
Kuna
wrong.
problem kubwa kwanza sana. Kwanza ile yenye unaamka asubuhi. During the day umetoka hivi, hey, I have to come back early because of mvua.
The rain, yeah.
Like you really can't predict anything. Titus, is it affecting you, your area?
Yeah,
ama
it's affecting
is it
me.
peke yetu?
Because I miss the green grass, especially the cows. When you open the cows,
Unaona venye
zinakimbia,
zinakimbililia nyasi.
zinakimbilia nyasi, they are happy, the moths, even the birds of the
Sahi
air.
hakuna.
Sahi hakuna, it's just
And you
Yeah.
know, even
Yes.
when it's green, kuna kukana hizi, if you have a compound at home or
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
the tall trees, unasikianga venye ndege zinaamka siku hizi kiimba. Nowadays ni kazi zinalala mpaka saa sita kwanza.
I think in a way you can say rain is therapeutic.
Okay.
From ikianza, the smell of the soil.
Yeah,
Ikianza,
even the air itself.
The smell of it,
Yeah,
I
it's
love it
fantastic.
so much, and I miss that.
Yeah.
and the green.
Unajua
Mimi
kale
napenda.
kama and then kana mix na vumbi kiasi.
Yeah.
Hapo harufu.
Kazi
I
sana.
really miss that.
Yeah.
I really miss
Mimi
that.
mkamba, so nimemiss kuona maji ikikamba. We need this. We need this.
Aki, guy, mimi miss that fresh water.
Yeah.
Talking of it, hata kufua na hiyo maji, mimi naona inang'arisha nguo. Sasa I've washed with salty water until nimechoka. I'm like, hey, when you boy go happy, it should just come back. Tanki ja maji, nipate maji at least ya kufua na, ina feeling
Soft
vizuri.
water.
Should we pray? Ama
Yeah, we should. Bebe.
ama who
Tuendelee na hizo
should we
maombi.
ama who should we blame?
We should blame ourselves. Because I feel like this is Mother Nature fighting back.
Aki,
We've been
torturing the nature.
Yeah, exactly. The carbon emissions,
Cutting of trees.
the
Yeah.
destruction of the ozone layer,
Exactly.
and all that. So these are the repercussions
And
we get
Lord,
out of all those practices.
we used to punish it thinking that it won't come back to us.
Yeah, so
but
now
just
this
now
is
inakuja
Mother
vibaya
Nature
sana.
revenging on
Vibaya.
us. Yeah. So I think we should style up. That's why
I
we
saw-
have the whole carbon emission, reducing the carbon emission thing.
Niliona comment Facebook, msee anasema ni utapata tu fala fulani ana blame gava. Ati gava mbo iko wapi? Who's the rain? Surely should we blame the government honestly? Kwani wao wanaleta mvua?
Hata wewe mwenyewe ukiambiwa leta mvua.
Are they creating the clouds?
You know,
Did
there
they
was a
help
point-
us to cut the trees?
There was a point we had rainmakers, so maybe we should go to those
Rainmakers, we
practices.
should go back to the days.
Like if it was like, hey, you guys are too woke for that.
Guy, actually we should. Na bado tukiconsider rainmakers, anatusaidia.
If you're out there and you're a rainmaker,
Kindly, tweet.
We are crying. We are
Aki,
suffering.
Kenyans, and it's not just a specific area, all over.
Yeah.
Utapata Mombasa they're complaining, Kisumu they're complaining, like anywhere where tulikuwa tuna expect kutanyesha, places zingine ziko supported.
Not even
Crops
Kenya alone.
again, not only Kenya only, like all over. Watu wana complain, drought is coming at a high rate, like rate ingine, lakini in a way, science has really humbled us.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't expect this. Kabisa. Mimi sikuwa na expect it will take this long. It just started like 1 year. I'm like, hey, maybe it's this 1 year, hakuna mvua. But now we are seeing, first where you're coming from, Titans. Ng'ombe zinakufa tu.
Ideally. Because sasa.
And let me ask you,
Turkey. Sad story.
so sad.
Mm.
Someone was asking, why don't people eat those cows before they die? Maybe why don't? Just a curious question. Yeah. Actually, it has no nutrients in it and all of
Zero.
that and all that.
And I feel like the last time we had this kind of pandemic was like 40 years ago. We weren't even around.
Yeah. This one is very serious.
It's
really hits us.
serious.
It's very serious.
But people are expecting long rains in March, April.
Yeah,
Do you think it will
I
happen?
saw.
Like it's a sioni any clouds. Sioni any
any sign.
I
signs
saw
of
a
that.
post last week
Mhm.
by weather. They said that there will be a lot of rains in mid-March, around 15. So you're expecting a lot of rains. They said it will begin from Tanzania coming this side. So Kajiado and Narok, they are more likely to get a lot of rain
Okay.
in March.
This will help a
Let's
lot.
manifest on that.
It will help. Lakini pia imetufunza.
Sana.
We should think outside the box.
Yeah.
We should not wait for another pandemic like this for drought it to hit.
Yeah.
This has hit us so bad.
We all know the saying necessity is the mother of invention and creation. So I think out of the experience we're having right now, guys are coming up with solutions on how to cope with the whole thing so that we don't find ourselves in the same predicament.
Ama tutengeneze artificial rain.
I'd like to
Lakini
see
hiyo
you
ni
try.
vision.
I'd like to see you try that.
Hiyo ni vision what? It will take long.
Mshaanza make it
You
rain.
think of
If you
it.
make it rain.
So 2100.
We make it rain, it will rain.
Yeah, that's 2100.
But imagine if we want, it will happen.
It will work, yeah.
Yeah, it
Because
will
it's
work.
happening in some other, like in the US,
But do you know
UK.
what should people do? This I don't know. I call them gurus. These people who have money, but they don't think of tomorrow. They think of their factories. Wanatoa hiyo maji mbaya and all that. Like
The pollution.
the pollution of air, the pollution of water itself yenye inafaa kuevaporate and all that. Si kuna kwa hiyo process.
Yeah.
Hao watu wanafaa kuongeleshwaje? Because if you talk to them, these people have money.
Actually, that's a very critical point because yesterday the president was in Korogosho. They were discussing about the river, which is really, really polluted. And it was very interesting that the governor of Makueni said that the people who are polluting these things are big men,
Exactly.
big men, not the hustlers. So it was an investment that the president was given on a mandate to look for the tax force who will clean these rivers because the water is affecting people in lower Machakos County and Makueni County.
And you know
because
these rivers
people-
run from one county to another.
to another, and when it takes an effect here, it will take the effect to the people there. And those people who are there, they are innocent, they don't know what is here. So I think we should pray for the rain to come.
Na pia tuongeleshe hao watu.
And we talk to the leaders because I saw somebody. There was, I don't know, he was somebody was talking. he was telling that people should invade the Mau forest, which we know is our source of water. So I was very shocked by what the government was meaning by that. But as in the due process, you can see.
But for real, government should take action when it comes to this industries and factories.
But the government is trying, because we see the wife of the president, the first lady. She is in a plan of planting 1 billion trees.
Okay.
Together the Ministry of Environment. So if they can achieve that, that will be very good, because we cannot experience such long droughts. In the next.
So, from my own thoughts, I feel like whatever you're saying, guys who are suffering out of this pandemic or anything are guys who are innocent and not involved. So that's where now the aspect of the carbon emission comes in. So the industries and the companies have been advised to reduce their carbon emissions. And there was also a debate in COP27, the recent COP27 in Egypt. So there was a lady, I can't quite clearly remember the name, but she was stressing on compensation in the third world countries. Because you find that most of the people who are suffering, who are facing the effects of these emissions, are guys who are not involved in it
at all.
So you find that she was bringing out a motion whereby these companies from the first world and the second, from the first world should compensate for whatever destruction or for whatever is happening right now in the third world countries. And I feel that that was a very good point, and that was I think it can be effective in helping these people, because you find that guys in Turkana, those guys, what kind of emissions are they?
Even they don't know.
And all that.
They don't know anything about that, but
they are the most
affecting them.
You find that there are kids out there who are malnourished.
Talking of even farmers. Farmers don't emit anything wrong to the environment, but now it's affecting farmers in a very hard way, by the way.
So
both
I feel like
livestock and the crops.
We should all now be working towards free, no carbon emission. Reduce consumption.
When you said about prayers, I remembered like time was
going to shrines.
And about to buy sacks.
Maybe it can.
If it can. Like all means zenye tunaweza fanya voi uje tufanye tu haki.
But it depends, because
in whatever religion you are coming from. I saw even a post in Facebook. Someone was asking, should we now pray religion wise or spiritual wise? Spiritual, depending with whatever you're believing in.
We're all suffering.
Exactly. It's not a religion thing.
You're a Muslim, you won't suffer. We're all suffering. So we should all come together.
Exactly. Spiritually, and if you're believing in that, just pray that please.
Lakini at the same time, we pray and act, because our actions.
We are not planting trees.
Our actions is what brought us in the same situation.
And we don't know if this is a plague, because I understand the biblical concept that a plague cannot be prayed out. It's something that will have to happen.
But again,
if you remember the story of Elisha.
But again, let me tell you, that's why we are saying we cannot take it to religion.
Oh yeah.
Let's take it to spiritual part of it. You get? So like you spiritually, in whatever you're believing in, you pray for rains. You know, because it's affecting everyone. You're missing the grass for the livestock. You're missing corner to grass na kukata na slasher. You remember those moments unamkatwa asubuhi.
There's a high school on punishment then because we kuna 2018 kulikuwa na board relations we sneaked out the school
and then coming back
to slash
and you know those slashers were not sharp.
So
very flat.
So na kulikuwa na nyasi ni
refu.
Sasa hata na shangaa.
That's not by the way.
Principals wa shule na punishment gani na hakuna nyasi ya kukatwa.
Again, hata kama uko na shamba unalima nini? you high school students ndio mmereduce condition
Sana
sisi kukiwa na mvua tulikuwa hey
yeah,
hey anyway that was the days, which is very interesting. Thank you guys again. Let's now talk about whatever is on the table today. Export market versus local market. This is broad. It contains a lot. Because export market kuna farmers wenye they are doing export market and they are loving it. Na kuna wenye they've tried it and they failed again and again, and even they've given up. They don't want even to try again. Again, talking of local market, they say kuna wase wenye they've loved it and it's working for them. And there are those people when they're doing it, no, it's not working. They're like, where do you guys get this profit? Where's the connection? Even within the country, just within the country, they don't have the connection of the market. Totally. They are struggling with the market. Kapsa. You get?
Yeah.
See, so those things happen. Yeah, I know, I understand that. So what is it that is there that is making people benefit others and others they're struggling on it? So we are talking about export market versus local market. Where are you? Are you doing export market or are you doing local market? Which one do you want to dare? Or maybe kama ulikuwa kwa local market, do you want to dare export market? If you're in export market and you have those challenges that you're facing, can you share with the local market people? At least we know, if I want to do export market, I'm supposed to have this on board. I have to do this and this and this. If you've been doing farming, but you've never done any of the market, unajua kuna wale tu wenye they just come and it's just for home use. You get? So do you want to do the market part of it? That's why we are having an agribusiness expert here who will help us to know for home use. Should they dare to do export or local? Because maybe I'm doing small scale farming or large scale farming. You get? Yeah. So that is what we are doing today. So Titan, can you tell us what comes in your mind when you hear export market and local market?
Number one, thank you for the discussion. I think this is a very interesting discussion and it will really help our viewers in a very grateful way.
Sure.
About the export markets and the local markets, what I understand, the export markets are the things that it's exported from this country to another country.
Yeah.
And about the local markets, about the local trade, which is happening within the country, within the county, within the location that we are in. So that is what I basically.
Okay. How about you, Kevin?
Basically, whatever Rita has said. Just to add on that, export markets are basically there are markets that out there.
We are doing
international. Locally, we have the regional markets. We have trade between counties, trade between villages, and all that. So all that falls under the local markets.
And then when we talk about export market and local market, we know there is a lot to do when it comes to both of them.
Yeah.
So are the tasks the same? When I'm taking my goods from Kisumu to Nairobi, because that's local market, and then someone is taking them from Kisumu to Uganda, do they face the same tasks when it comes to hapo katikati, from the transportation to part of it? Do they face the same tasks?
Okay, I'd say that export market is challenging in a way because it involves a lot of logistics and a lot of certifications and registrations.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like there are a lot of restrictions when it comes to export market. But for the local market in Kenya, we have a free market whereby as long as you have your produce, you can sell to any part of the country. The only thing that you will have, the only cost you have to incur are the taxes, excess charges, and just to mention but a few. Yeah, but I believe the registration is one of the biggest challenges.
Part of it when it comes to export.
Yeah. And that is what is making the local farmers shun away from the export market.
And that is the biggest thing that is bringing the difference
Yeah.
between the export and the local market.
Even in pricing.
Exactly. So let's talk about pricing. Maybe have you ever come across both export market farmers and local market farmers?
Yeah.
Titans.
Yeah.
So what are the prices that they are talking about when it comes to both of them? Do they sell their goods the same? Mtu anauza nyanya locally na mtu anauza nyanya to export? Does it have a difference? It's just totally the same?
Yeah, there is a very big difference. Number one, in the profit side. You find the people who are in the export market, yes, they have some challenges to acquire the export, but once they put that lineage, you find they get a very high
Profit.
profit. For example, I have a friend who exports chilies. 1 kg of chilies, they sell it at 120, 100 shillings,
Yeah.
that range. But if you come to local markets, 1 kg you can find it at around 40, 30, 40 shillings, 30, 50.
Okay.
So they play in that range. So
That's a
just
very
like
big difference.
just like that difference in the profit side.
Part of it.
So you find that those people who are exporting, they're getting more profit to their farms than the people who sells in the locally.
Okay. So Kevin, what do you think are what is bringing that bridge between the local and the export
Between the local
market?
and the export
Yeah,
market.
yeah. As he said about the prices, which is again one of the main factors that is bringing the bridge, because umeona hiyo margin ya price.
Yeah.
You can imagine chili 1 kg for 40 shillings and another one for that's a lot of money.
But now, they might be selling it at 100, but now when you consider the cost of production and the cost of everything that is incurred, you'll find that yes, they make more profit, but it's not that big of money.
That big of money.
Because you'll find that for the export market, the biggest criteria they use is the quality of the produce. The produce you have, is it organic? Because for the export market, they only do organic. Yeah, they don't.
They don't use
chemical.
inorganic,
They don't. If you're using chemical fertilizers for your crops and all that, high chances that you won't export your produce. Yeah, and to produce your produce organic, that comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of costs. So that is what makes the export market a bit of expensive. Then we have tariffs that are induced by the government. So these tariffs make they are like catalysts to ensure that the produce that is being exported to a river favors the local consumers or the local farmers. In that, if you produce, let's say, for example, if you take tomatoes from Egypt, because they do a lot of exports. If you take tomatoes from Egypt, you'll find that if we bring them at a lower price, that will affect the local farmer.
Exactly. Because of the market.
So the government has set specific tariffs. These are taxes that are imposed on the exporters, so that by the time this produce is getting to our local market, there's no big of a difference in terms of pricing, so that the local farmer can also get profit and can also sell their produce. Because if let's say a commodity is going at 10 shillings and the local farmer is producing and selling at 20 shillings, you find that guys will prefer the less expensive one. Exactly. And this will affect the local farmer. So there has to be that.
You said something very important when it comes to quality. A lot of export produce, not all of it, they prefer the quality part of it.
Yeah.
There is nothing like that. They're just bringing something which is not quality. So farmers must ensure that their crops are of quality.
Yeah.
Why do farmers, I would like really to understand this. Why do we prefer the local market of it, part of it? Why do we prefer just to have not that much quality? We're exporting the perfect produce, but not the local market. Tunabaki na the not quality. Second produce. So kuna the first grade, second grade. So si tunachukua from second kwenda chini. Why do we do that? Because me, I feel it's so sad. Why do we put ourselves in that range?
What I can say, most of these crops which are being exported in the country, they are commercialized. When I say commercialized, they are owned by the state. For example, it's very few farmers who own tea farmers, tea farms, tea, coffee. So most of them, they have most of these farms are being owned by the government. So the government, the main reason why we consume the low is because government export the high so that they can get high foreign exchange from
But
these
why?
people.
But why? Why are we doing that? Me, okay, I don't like it. I don't know about you guys how you are feeling, but it's not good.
But okay, I feel like considering the production, if we were to get that first grade, the ones that you're talking about, would you afford it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the biggest question.
Very
Because
interesting.
you find that a customized good and a regular good, the customized
Utachukua
good,
gani?
the customized good will be more expensive.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, given the criteria now from the export market, wherever you're taking your produce, they have strict measures and regulations
Exactly. And
for
then
whatever you're bringing in. So, at that point, considering now that that's why you hear that there are rejects in the market. and
Yeah.
all that. So, whatever you're talking about, it's like you're consuming rejects. That's what you're trying to say.
exactly. We're
Yeah, but
consuming rejects.
you find that the quality and whatever comes in production of this product, it's what makes it expensive. And if it's brought in the local market, you find that the consumers won't buy it because of the high cost.
Yeah.
So the government or the farmer prefers to sell it
Outside so that they can get
they
the
can
profit.
get
Okay.
So basically, at the end of the day, we are all looking for money. So where your profit margins are higher, that's why.
So in short, you guys are saying that we cannot afford the first grade.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
But
saying that.
at the point, it happens. Yeah. Because if we are being brought the second grade, but still we are complaining that the prices are high.
High.
Yeah.
What about
the first grade? Yeah, I can imagine.
And all this now,
Uh-huh.
if we would subsidize our fertilizers,
Yeah.
seeds, and
True.
all that, because I feel like for the local market for us to boost the local market, we need to lower the cost of input.
Exactly.
So that after that, the supply
Can be at least. Yeah.
Yeah, business is all about the process of supply and demand. So if we have a high supply of this commodity, it means that the prices will go down. Yes, the demand will still be the same, but if the supply is high, the prices automatically
will go
be low.
down. Okay, so we've talked about the prices, which I want us to maybe deep into it. Prices for export. So even to like that is what is the main thing here, because we find that we cannot afford, maybe most of the people here, we cannot afford the first grade. So farmers are preferring to sell it to take it to the export market so that they can get that profit. Do you think that profit, part of it, favors the farmer? When the farmer caters for transport, the taxes, first transport is totally high when it comes now to exportation part of it. Registration, as you said, do you think it favors the farmer, or again they are complaining like local farmers?
Now for that profit, for your business to make economic sense, to get profits in the business. Now that comes in terms of the quantity. What's the quantity you're getting out?
You're getting that.
If you're taking more produce, that increases your chances of getting higher profit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for you to do export, I think you need to produce in terms of tons. Yeah.
A lot of produce.
Yeah. That will now increase your chances of getting higher profit.
Of getting your profit.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and that comes also over time.
Okay, so Titus, what do you think are the hindrances that are making most of the farmers not to prefer export? Because me, like, okay, I really understand that a lot of farmers, most of them, they prefer just local market. They don't want that stress of going to the export market, dealing with registration, transportation, taxes, because it's double work, I understand. So what is the hindrance that is making the farmers not to deal with export market? They prefer dealing with local market.
Number one, the cost of inputs this farmer acquire to their produce, because you find that the farmers use a lot of money to buy these inputs so that the crops can succeed.
Okay.
For example, the fertilizer before the new government came in, it was sold at around 6,000.
Okay.
Currently, I heard that there is a fertilizer sold at around 3,500.
Okay.
It is being given by the government of Kenya.
So it has reduced.
So it has reduced. Another thing that I can see is about the registration. In terms of registration, number one, it requires some money, and then it requires the time. For example, if you are producing perishable crops, you find by the time you are going to starting register, by the time you go and have that certificate, you have to give them certificate for export. It have taken a lot of time. Even these crops of yours
they've already gone bad.
Yeah, so they can go bad. So the farmer prefer to go for the local market, which is so easy and ready. Even if there is no so much profit, but but instead of going the losses of all of it, you just go and sell, get the little profit you get, and then continue producing others.
What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, to add on what Titus has said, mostly in terms of market, because we find that we have that ready market locally. But now for you to export, the government won't like link you with any market out there.
Okay.
So you're the one to do your partnerships and your due diligence to get the market out there. And out of that, that's when you can start exporting.
Okay.
So the biggest challenge now is that market linkage. Secondly, the capital that is involved in now doing large scale. Yeah. Because for you to export, as I had said earlier, for you to export, you need to be doing large quantities and weekly, not just once in a while. For you to now, for your business to make that economic sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of capital and now registration, that's what makes farmers
the bridge which is between the export market and local
the
market. Okay, so that's wonderful. I'm getting good information there. So thank you so much, our viewers, for sticking with us till up to now. So we are going for a short break, and even before we go, let me remind you what you're talking about: export market versus local market. Where are you? Are you on local market or export market? And what do you want to do in future? What do you want to learn? Share with us. What are your challenges? Kindly share with us. Let's go for a short break and then we'll come back. Thank you so much for still being with us up to now. So we're having a very good topic with us. Export market versus local market. We've already talked a lot. We've already impacted a lot of farmers here right now as we're talking about export market and local market. And my big question is, where are you? What are you doing? Are you doing local market or are you doing export market? When it comes to farm produce, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to sell them locally? Do you prefer to export your produce? If you're a small scale farmer or a large scale farmer, which one do you prefer? Which one does it favor you? Where is the profit between export market and local market? Where is the profit? Which one will you go with if you're given export market and local market? Again, whichever that you will pick, what are the challenges that you're facing? Or what are you fearing? If you're fearing export market, what are you fearing specifically? When we are talking about export market and you're like, hey, I can't try that. What are you fearing specifically when it comes to export market? Or when you're talking about local market, what are your fears when it comes to local market? So we are here with our guest again. And Kevin, you mentioned something very nice when you said export market mostly deals with large scale farmers, people who will produce tons of produce. You get?
Yeah.
So how about farmers who are joined together and then they're like, okay, you're bringing sweet potatoes, let's bring sweet potatoes. How many tons? 20 tons from different farms, and then we export. Can it work?
Yeah, definitely that can work.
Mhm.
Because when it comes to application now,
Mhm.
uh, that comes in terms of number.
Okay.
For you to make economic sense,
Mhm.
remember,
Mhm.
we're all trying to get that money.
Mhm.
So for you to do this business, you have to have economic sense.
Mhm.
So for that to happen, if farmers can aggregate their produce,
Mhm.
then that will be a very great idea.
Okay.
And for the issue of registration and certifications,
Mhm.
they really don't have to focus on that
Mhm.
because we have bodies that help with that, with the
Mhm.
exportation.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, for example, we have the fresh produce export in Kenya.
Mhm.
Those are agencies that might
Help the farmers.
yeah, they can procure your produce
Mhm.
and export
Mhm.
because they are certified exporters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So they bring the produce to the agencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That the fresh produce exports in Kenya,
Mhm.
they will procure the produce from the farmers, from the
Okay.
local farmers.
Mhm.
Be you a smallholder farmer or a large scale farmer,
Mhm.
as long as your produce meets the criteria that they're looking for,
Mhm.
then they can procure your produce
Mhm.
and export.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you'll be paid by the agency, then they'll sort their own.
They will solve their own the other part of
Yeah.
it. So let's talk first specifically on local market.
Mhm.
Let's put export market pending just for some minutes.
Okay.
Local market. Titus, we're talking about local market here. Farmers are having produce in their farms. By the way, Kenya, we are rich. We are rich when it comes to farm produce.
Yeah.
We have places where they're bringing mangoes, potatoes, whatever, onions, all that. We have all produce, by the way. We can feed the whole country with our own produce.
Yeah.
But again, there are these people who prefer importing produce. What should we do to these people? You know, by the way, they're diminishing the local market at a very high rate. What do you think about that, Titus? When you're talking about the people being affected with that.
What I can say about that, when you find it's about how the government
Okay, even
putting
before we go to the government, sorry for cutting you short.
Mhm.
How are the local market farmers being affected with that? The importation of produce. We are producing bananas, but again, you guys are going to Uganda to bring bananas. How is that affecting the farmers?
it's affecting because number one, the reason I was bringing factor is because such things like fertilizer.
Okay.
In Tanzania, fertilizer is around 2,000. If I'm not so correct, so wrong. But in Kenya, it's around that 500. So their input cost it's low
Than here. Okay.
So the reason why they import those ones and they sell to us because if they bring and I sell my banana at around 10, 20 shillings, and that is for 10 bob, most of the people will run up for the because of the
For
cost
the cheaper
for
one.
the cheaper one. So what I can say for this problem, we can reduce the cost of inputs. For example, the sprayers or
The fertilizers.
the fertilizers. The cost of production, simply when the cost of production is low, then the production will be high, and the prices will be okay.
Again, talking of that, yesterday we was having a very good discussion about the market. Yesterday at the mid-morning show. So we were having a guest who was talking about the scene, the importation of produce, while Kenya itself in a position to produce.
Yeah.
Kenya, we are selling maybe a bunch of bananas at maybe, let me guess, I'm not sure about that, maybe 600. But the one being imported, it's being sold at 300, half the price.
Yeah.
That person is not caring about the farmer who is in Kenya, who is incurring inputs like fertilizers, irrigation, transportation, and all that. And this farmer is being forced to at least balance the price to 300, which is totally a loss.
Yeah.
There is no profit. And again, that person cannot store it. You cannot store things because a farm produce. You cannot store them for long. They will go bad. So you are being forced just to get the money that you use in the farm, totally exact that money. So you won't get even any profit. Which is that thing is affecting farmers. What do you think, Kelvin?
Whatever you're talking about is true, and
Very
it's
true.
actually a sad
Sad
situation
again, yeah.
because our local farmers are really suffering. As you've said, they have to settle for less
Yeah.
because just to compete
To balance and the
just to compete with
competition
the market.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel what actually our government needs to do is the tariffs now, the taxes we are talking about.
Yeah.
Because if we impose, for example, if you're saying about bananas, if you're getting bananas from Uganda, if we impose these tariffs on Uganda,
Yeah.
you find that this makes the importation more expensive. You understand? And that will make it not that okay. Guys will not prefer to import because of the high taxes and all that. And that will help now the local farmer because once that produce comes into our country, due to the taxes and the logistics of getting that product here, you'll find that it has a higher market value.
Yeah.
Now, for the locally produced produce, you'll find that they'll have the cost, their cost will be low, and that will make people now, the consumers now, will prefer buying the products in relation to buying the exported products, the imported products. Yeah, so I feel like our government should actually work on that, on increasing the taxes, so that now our local farmers can at least
Increasing the taxes for the ones importing.
the imported, the
Sure.
imported
But
products.
it should be even not double. It should be triple because these people, by the way, they're really diminishing the market.
Yeah.
You get these people. You're getting your produce from maybe Loitoktok, or you're getting your produce from Kisumu, Mombasa, and all that. You prefer selling it just for people within more than taking it to Nairobi. Because you're going to Marikiti, you're going to Nairobi, the main market, you're finding the things are cheaper, half the price that you're going to sell.
Yeah, exactly.
That person, you've not incurred your transportation, the taxes on the road and all that. But it's true. These people double, triple the taxes.
Yeah,
First on the border, the prices should be so high. And again, you find, another problem. You find these people who are importing, they're not just people, they're big people.
The big
That's
boys.
that's another issue. The people who are importing this produce are big people, as you said, the big boys. Yeah, maybe they have a lot of connection more than you the person who is going to complain about, hey, can you at least increase the taxes for the people who are importing? You get so. These people totally they're breaking the local market. Kabisa. Like it's totally going down in a rate that farmers within they cannot pull up. You get they cannot bring back the market. You understand? So this is the big question again. Who is to fight for the local market? Kelvin.
Who is to fight for the local
Yeah.
market? I believe as farmers, we should be in the forefront of fighting for the local market because basically that's our mode of living. That's where we get our bread and all that. So if farmers can come together and air out their problems, air out their issues to the local and to the national governments to find ways in which we can improve and empower our farmers. Because we'll find that most farmers have a lot of problems when it comes to finances. So can we allocate funds to these farmers? Can we give them, do we have subsidies maybe for the fertilizer so that we can reduce our cost of production? And only by that is when the local farmer now will benefit.
Exactly.
Because as Teta has said, actually he's a very great farmer.
Yeah.
I love this guy. Yeah, if you reduce your production cost, definitely the produce will be more. We'll have enough produce in our country.
Okay.
And at a very affordable price. And only by that is when we can see profits being gained in our agricultural sector and the empowering of the smallholder farmers.
Okay. So, what do you think about that? Who is to fight for the farmers?
Well, the farmers should fight for themselves. Number one, if they make some organizations when they are
Within themselves.
yeah, when they get united, they can fight for themselves because they can, once you are united, you can speak to the government, either local and national government, to make sure that these imported food stuffs are not getting to the country.
Okay.
Or else they talk to the government to reduce the cost of inputs. Because once they reduce the cost of inputs, then production will be very easy for them, and then they will be selling their produce, getting their profits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've talked about the connection, Batavi.
Yeah.
Who is to connect farmers to the exporters?
I think farmers will export.
Someone is in the rural area. They know nothing, by the way, about exporting and all that. But this person has very big farm. He has just been doing local market. Totally. But now, this farmer hears about export market. He's like, okay, how do I go about it? Where should I go? Who should connect me?
First of all, I feel like that's the role of the government.
Okay.
Because they should be doing sensitization. Both the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock and the Ministry of Trade, I believe that they're in a better position to enlighten and inform these farmers out there on which steps to take. But for the case of this program, for the case of this show, we can just take the farmers through the process. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, for you to enter the export market, one, you should have a registered company, the registered company. So we have a aspect of certification, business registration, that is the registry of companies. You also have to have a KRA pin for you to pay your taxes, memorandum of association.
Okay.
Now that helps you to structure your business because guys out there will now know, the government will know that this is a business entity that is organized and ready for business.
Ready for business, yeah.
Yeah. So the identification cards for the directors included, and business permits, tax compliance certificates, and all that. With that information or with those documents, a farmer can easily get the HCD export license, which is given at the Horticultural Crop Directorate.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you get that certificate from the directorate, now the next step will be getting a KEFIS certification. Yeah, KEFIS is a Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate service. And after getting the HCD export license, they'll need a demonstration of the understanding of the document. You'll need inspection of the plants that you're growing or the farm. You'll need quality control management. Is your quality to the standards?
To the standards of it being exported.
For the export market. Your handling practices. How do you handle your produce? and the sanitation
Okay.
and housekeeping, because that is a major
aspect of it.
Yeah, you have to have hygiene. Hygiene is anything dealing with agricultural produce or food. Hygiene is a must. Then worker health and hygiene. Then pest control program, because you find that this produce that you're getting out of the country, for the quality now, they don't have to have one. The reason they prefer organic foods is because of the chemical residue that it gets into the plant when using chemical fertilizers. Two, the pest control now. What kind of insecticides or
Are you
pesticides are you
using?
using?
Yeah.
The
And
organic.
again, you said they only maybe need organic produce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that can be a factor. And now after getting this, the registration of the company and getting this license, that's when now export
To
that
export the
produce.
produce. Okay. I understand totally what the point that our business expert has just shared. That is very important for farmers even to note that hey, for registration I'm supposed to go through this and this and this. These are the documents that I'm supposed to have. And this is the process. And the connection itself, as you say, the government should do something. And for me, I think you see when we talk about the rural areas, people they don't know whatever the English that they're talking about, most of them they don't know. Those hard names they don't know. But we're having the local chief. I guess I believe so.
The local
And
administration.
and in every county it has someone to stand to represent agriculture itself or any sector in the county. These people should act on something. You get? They should act on educating these people, even if it's training, anything. I'm understanding that these people should at least create something that will give farmers knowledge on whatever they're supposed to do. Or again, as you said, they should at least go to those agencies to give them their produce and again to get that profit. You understand?
Yeah.
Which is very profitable.
Yeah, but then again, I also feel like the government should come in, because you find that the ratio of an agronomist to farmers is actually 1:100.
Okay.
So if one agronomist is supposed to cater for 100 farmers, you find that there's a challenge
A
there.
very big challenge.
Yeah, so we also need to increase the number of agronomists we have here, out here, and through that, that's when the sensitization can take place effectively.
Okay, and when we're talking about an agronomist, Titus, being an agronomist, so do you think you're in a position, or agronomists should be in a position to help farmers to identify the roles, that okay the plan that Kelvin has given us. Sorry for that. The plan that Kelvin has given us to get into registration. Do you think, as an agronomist, you should be able to eliminate the farmer on the plan that Kelvin has given us?
About the process that Kelvin has given us, it's very important for us agronomists to take this information to the farmers, because as much as we go to them, the good thing and the important thing is to get the information accurately.
Yeah.
But you can find a challenge of an illiterate farmer. There, you can take a step and help the farmer if he's interested to achieve certain goals.
Okay.
Because even there are farmers who does know that there is something like KRA pin, KFIs.
Exactly.
They don't have these things, the roles of these things. So it's a challenge for the government to have some work personnel, so that they can help to transfer the knowledge to the people in the local areas.
But my question is, do you feel like the agronomists are well equipped? Are you well trained in matters of now?
Eliminating the farmer.
No, in terms of the business aspect of it, in advising these farmers now in the registration process and all that. Do you feel like agronomists are well equipped?
Most of them are not. So what I can say, the government can bring an initiative or even a 1 week training to train the people who are there, so that they can give them the right information. Because you can find that you can have an information, but it's just a slight one.
Okay.
So when you get these trainings, they will really help us to understand more deeper the roles of caves, because even you can find that there are some produce which are not consumed in some countries, because you cannot tell me you want to export pig here to the Middle East countries, or they don't consume. So they'll tell us a lot of knowledge, they'll impact us a lot of things, and the things that those people take, and they will give us the processes and even the charges inquiries which the farmer should able to undertake, so that they can have these certificates and the certification part of it.
Okay.
Okay, I understand that we have the Kenya School of Government. So I feel like the experts in these institutions are in a better position to come now and educate our agronomists in all aspects of an agribusiness. Because what you learn as an agribusiness, as an agronomist, is the technical part of it.
That is true.
But I feel like you should also be equipped and educated on the business aspect of it, so that now you can help these farmers changing their farms into an agribusiness.
Sure. Wow, that's a good discussion there. That's so wonderful. So we are taking a very short break, and then when you're coming back, we're coming to discuss what are the measures to consider for a farmer to meet the standards of the quality that we've talked about for the produce for the export. You get what are the matters to consider? Is it transportation? Is it storage? Is it what is the measures to consider for a farmer to meet the standard? So thank you so much for still being with us. Let's go for a short break. Thank you so much for still being with us. For those who have not yet watched us, kindly meet us on our social media handles on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Our Farmers Media. We're talking about export market versus local market. How has it affected you? Where are you? What are the challenges? What are the benefits? That's all we're talking about here. And we're having our expert in agribusiness, agronomist with us. So they're helping us to understand all this as an aspect of farmers and as an aspect of agribusiness itself. So we've talked a lot. Right before we went for the break, we talked about the registration part of it, where you've taken us through all the process, what farmers should do, what should they need for their registration. If a farmer does not understand, they will need an agronomist, where the agronomist has explained to us the process of it. So that was a very good information from you guys. Now, as we are back on air, we want to now talk about the measures to consider for the farmer to meet the standard of, of the exportation produce. What are the matters they should consider when it comes to that? Status.
Number one, from the beginning, we talked about the quality produce which are being exported.
Yeah, sure.
So it begins from land preparation, the way you plant your crops, the spacing, the fertilizer applied, the pest control measures,
Okay.
the way you harvest, because I understand that there are ways of harvesting these export crops, the time of harvesting,